Well, all eyes once more on the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture. President Cyril Ramaphosa will today continue his testimony at the Commission and is expected to be quizzed about his 2017 ANC Presidential Campaign when he returns to the stand today. Now, yesterday, which was day one of his appearance, he admitted that members of the ANC had been involved in state capture and corruption. Now, a news reporter, Natasha, is now going to join us to unpack some of yesterday's proceedings with a legal expert as Mzwayi Mbeche made his way into the Commission precinct. So, Natasha, good morning. And yes, much to look into and much anticipation for what's to come today. But it's over to you.
Definitely, Sakina. Very good morning to you and to our morning live viewers. Indeed, much anticipation as we actually count down to 9 o'clock, where ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to continue with the second day of his testimony. Sakina, of course, I'm joined by a legal expert, Reitumetse Phiri, who will actually unpack his testimony yesterday and possibly tell us what we can look forward to today. Just to also give you somewhat of a background about yesterday, as you know, that my colleague, the political editor Mzwayi Mbeche, covered proceedings inside the Commission while I covered proceedings outside. And of course, we saw those various political parties staging a picket outside, namely the DA, the Congress of the People, COPE, and Action SA, all basically calling for accountability, saying that the president must account for his actions, and actually his role and the party's role in what they call these alleged 9 wasted years, where they say state capture actually happened. We also saw the likes of the SACP coming out in support of the Commission and the work of the Commission, and we also saw there an ANC stalwart, Father Mkasha. But actually, to unpack more, I'm joined by the legal expert, Mr. Reitumetse Phiri. Thank you so much for joining us on SABC. Always a pleasure having you. Just in terms of yesterday, I mean, just analyze things for us, and what can we expect today from the president?
Sure. I think yesterday, the president of the ANC did acknowledge that some wrongs had happened in the past or in the recent years. He did speak to the fact that, for instance, things like Bosasa should have never actually happened. He did speak to the fact that, the new Political Party Funding Act will hopefully remedy some of the issues that facilitated the state capture that we've seen. So I think, there is at least a bit of an acknowledgement that something did go wrong. I did feel, though, that the president did come a little bit short in talking us through the detail of what exactly happened. And we did see the Deputy Chief Justice and the evidence leader starting to press him on some of the issues as, what exactly happened, who did what, and how. So I expect that going into today, we'll get a little bit more of, hopefully, a little bit more detail from the president. And I mean, we know that an issue, for instance, such as the Guptas will be on discussed today, and hopefully we can get a little bit more from the president around what was happening with the party and the party's role in this state capture.
Well, the bone of contention for some political parties that were actually picketing outside was the issue of accountability. And judging by his testimony yesterday, was there some form of accountability from the ANC president and from the party as well?
I think we're not yet seeing the accountability, right? So if we take, for instance, the issue of cadre deployment, there was an admission by the president that it's not quite working the way it should be, and that there are elements within that should actually be improved, right? But, not accountability around, on the one hand, we can say, yes, ministers choose these directors and, CEOs to go into these state-owned entities, but not an acknowledgement of the damage that had come around as a result of that, right? So I hope that today we can extract a little bit more of that kind of detail and accountability. But certainly yesterday, in as much as there was an acceptance of what had happened, we didn't see sort of a mea culpa from the ANC side. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We'll just leave it there for now. Sakina, as you know that Mr. Mbeje is actually on his way inside the commission. Of course, we're cutting down those minutes to when ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa will be appearing again before the commission. But of course, from the SABC team out here in Braamfontein, we promise to give you all the live updates blow by blow. So from me, let's just leave it here and cross back to you in studio.
Well, thanks, Natasha Phiri. And as she promised, we will be updating you as and when it happens. And of course, 15 minutes to be exact until the commission starts today. But we'll have all of that for you and more. But for now, let's take a quick break.